Archangel Michael has an urgent message about your son specifically for you today. You've been sensing something different about your son lately, the way he avoids your eyes, those secretive phone calls he takes in another room, and how he quickly changes the subject when you ask about his day. These concerns aren't just typical parental worry. The protective feelings that keep you awake at night weren't paranoia. They were divine warnings from Archangel Michael trying to reach you. The powerful guardian angel Archangel Michael has been watching over your family, and he has discovered something important about your son that you need to know immediately. Your child has been hiding something significant that affects his spiritual safety and your family's well-being. Those sudden protective thoughts about your son that come from nowhere? The dreams where you see him surrounded by darkness or blue light trying to reach him. These are all signs from Archangel Michael attempting to alert you to a growing danger. This divine revelation will explain the changes in your son's behavior, his energy, and why your parental intuition has been sending you warning signals. The fact that you found this message today is no coincidence. It was divinely guided timing, because what Archangel Michael needs to reveal about your son cannot wait any longer. Archangel Michael has revealed something deeply concerning about your son. He has been influenced by negative spiritual forces that are gradually leading him away from his divine path and natural protection. This isn't about normal teenage rebellion or growing independence. This is about spiritual manipulation that puts your child's soul in danger. Certain people in your son's life have been working to disconnect him from his spiritual defenses. These influences appear completely harmless on the surface. They might be friends, online communities, social media content, or entertainment that seems innocent to most people. But Archangel Michael sees what's really happening behind the surface. These influences are systematically lowering your son's spiritual vibration and weakening his natural ability to recognize danger. Your son doesn't realize he's being spiritually manipulated. The secret he's been hiding involves activities, thoughts, or beliefs that are gradually separating him from divine protection. Each day that passes, his spiritual defenses become weaker, making him more vulnerable to darker influences. The parental intuition that's been keeping you awake at night was Archangel Michael trying to alert you before it's too late. Without immediate intervention, your son could become completely disconnected from divine guidance, leaving him spiritually defenseless in a world full of negative forces. This situation is far more serious than typical teenage problems. Your son's eternal well-being is at stake, and only you have the parental authority to intervene effectively. Now you need to understand the specific signs that Archangel Michael has been trying to show you. Think about the changes in your son's energy when he comes home. Does he feel different somehow? Maybe drained, negative, or carrying a heaviness that wasn't there before. This happens when someone's spiritual protection has been compromised. Pay attention to his sleep patterns. Has he been staying awake much later than usual, seeming tired during the day, or having trouble sleeping? Negative spiritual influences often disrupt natural sleep cycles, because darkness thrives when the mind is vulnerable. Notice if your son has developed a sudden interest in dark themes, symbols, music, or entertainment that makes you uncomfortable as a parent. This isn't about being old-fashioned. It's about recognizing when content is designed to lower spiritual vibration and invite negative energy. Watch how he interacts with the family now compared to before. Has he withdrawn from activities he previously enjoyed? Does he avoid family gatherings, seem irritated by positive conversations, or become defensive when asked simple questions about his day? Your pets may have noticed changes before you did. Animals are naturally sensitive to spiritual shifts. If your family pet has started acting differently around your son, becoming nervous, distant, or even defensive, trust this reaction as An important warning sign. Physical symptoms often accompany spiritual attacks. Unexplained headaches, changes in appetite, or frequent minor illnesses. Your son might also experience mood swings that seem to come from nowhere, especially anger or sadness that feels disproportionate to normal teenage emotions. Most importantly, trust that feeling you get that he's becoming someone you don't recognize. This isn't normal adolescent development. It's spiritual interference. Archangel Michael is offering his immediate protection for your son, but you must actively invite this divine intervention. As a parent, you have special spiritual authority over your child that negative forces cannot override. Begin each morning by saying this powerful prayer: Archangel Michael, I call upon your protection for my son. Surround him with your blue light of truth and strength. Cut away all negative influences with your sword of light. Restore his natural spiritual defenses and guide him back to his divine path. Creating a protective barrier around your home is essential. Visualize bright blue light surrounding your entire house, with Archangel Michael standing guard at every entrance. This divine shield allows positive energy to flow freely while blocking all negative influences from entering your family space. Your son's room needs special attention. While he's not home, enter his space with the intention of cleansing. Open windows to let fresh air circulate, then say, Archangel Michael, cleanse this space of all negative energies. Fill this room with your protective light. Many parents report an immediate lightening of the atmosphere after this simple practice. The power of a parent's blessing is extraordinary. Each night, whether your son is awake or sleeping, place your hand gently on his head or shoulder and speak these words: I bless you with divine protection, clarity, and spiritual strength. You are surrounded by love and light. Even if he seems resistant when awake, this blessing works on his subconscious mind. Place protective symbols throughout your home, small angel figures, blue crystals, or even just blue items in strategic locations. These serve as energy anchors that maintain Archangel Michael's presence. Sound clearing is particularly effective for breaking up negative energy. When your son is home, play uplifting music, use wind chimes, or even ring a small bell while mentally asking Archangel Michael to clear all darkness from your space. You'll know these protections are working when your son's mood begins to improve. His sleep normalizes, and he starts showing interest in positive activities again. Archangel Michael provides specific guidance about how to approach your son without pushing him further away. Timing is crucial. Choose a moment when he's naturally relaxed, perhaps after a meal or during a car ride when conversation feels natural. Avoid confronting him when he's defensive or in a negative mood. Begin with love, not accusations. Instead of saying, you've been acting strange, try, I've noticed you seem stressed lately, and I want you to know I'm here if you need support. This opens the door without creating immediate resistance. Share your own experiences rather than focusing on his behavior. You might say, I've been having some unusual dreams about you lately, and my intuition as your parent tells me you might be going through something difficult. This acknowledges your spiritual awareness without seeming intrusive. Ask open-ended questions that help him recognize negative influences himself. How do you feel after spending time with certain friends? Or do you notice your mood changing after certain activities? Guide him to his own realizations rather than forcing conclusions. Never dismiss his feelings or experiences, even if they concern you. Listen fully before offering spiritual perspective. If he mentions feeling confused, depressed, or different, validate these feelings while gently suggesting they might not originate from him. Set boundaries with love. You might say, because I love you, I need to limit certain activities until we figure out what's affecting your well-being. Frame restrictions as protection, not punishment. Remember that this conversation might happen over several talks, not just one. Be patient and maintain the loving connection while staying spiritually alert to his responses and energy changes. When one family member is under spiritual attack, it affects everyone in the household. Archangel Michael emphasizes the importance of creating a unified family spiritual shield that protects all members while specifically strengthening your son's defenses. Begin by involving other family members in protection practices appropriate for their age. Younger children can help by drawing pictures of angels, choosing blue items for their rooms, or participating in simple family prayers. Older siblings can be made aware of the situation and asked to include their brother in their own prayers and positive thoughts. Establish a daily family spiritual practice that naturally builds protection. This might be a brief morning prayer together, a moment of gratitude before meals, or an evening ritual where everyone shares something positive from their day. These practices create spiritual unity that negative forces cannot penetrate. Cleanse your entire home regularly by opening windows, burning sage or incense, and declaring, "This home is filled with love, light, and divine protection. All negative energies must leave." Walk through each room with this intention, paying special attention to common areas where family gathers. Create positive family activities that naturally repel negative energy. Game nights, nature walks, cooking together, or creative projects. These activities strengthen family bonds while raising the overall spiritual vibration of your household. Watch for signs that other family members might also be affected. Unusual arguments, sleep disturbances, or general heaviness in the home. Address these immediately with the same protective practices. Most importantly, maintain unity during this spiritual challenge. When families stand together in love and faith, they become spiritually impenetrable, creating a fortress of light that protects all members from outside darkness. The healing process after negative influences are removed requires patience and consistent spiritual support. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that your son's restoration will happen gradually as his natural spiritual defenses rebuild and strengthen. Help your son reconnect with his authentic interests and personality. Encourage activities that brought him joy before the negative influences took hold. This might mean reintroducing sports, music, art, or other positive pursuits that align with his true nature. Be patient if he initially resists. His spiritual clarity will return as the healing progresses. Rebuilding trust and communication in your relationship is essential for long-term success. Continue the open, loving conversations you began during the intervention. Share your own spiritual journey and experiences, helping him understand that spiritual awareness is a normal and valuable part of life. Support the development of your son's natural spiritual gifts and intuition. Many young people have strong spiritual abilities that negative influences try to suppress. As his protection strengthens, these gifts may emerge or return. Enhanced intuition, prophetic dreams, or the ability to sense others' true intentions. Create new positive social connections to replace negative influences. This might involve changing schools, joining different activities, or finding new friend groups that support his spiritual growth rather than undermining it. Teach your son his own spiritual protection practices so he can maintain his spiritual health independently. Simple daily prayers, visualization techniques, and the awareness to recognize negative influences will serve him throughout his life. Celebrate every sign of progress. Improved mood, better sleep, return to positive interests, or renewed family connections. These victories reinforce the healing and build momentum for continued spiritual growth. Archangel Michael stands ready to protect your son right now, but you must act immediately. This isn't something to think about or plan for next week. Your Son's spiritual safety depends on your response today. As his parent, you have been given special spiritual authority that negative forces cannot override. But you must use this authority actively. The window of opportunity to restore your son's spiritual protection is open right now. Divine timing brought this message to you because you have the power to change this situation completely. Your love as a parent is the most powerful spiritual force for your son's protection, and Archangel Michael is ready to amplify this love into an impenetrable shield around your child. Begin the protection practices today. Say the prayers, create the visualizations, and have that important conversation with your son. Trust your parental intuition. It has been guiding you toward this moment of intervention. Show your appreciation for this divine intervention by giving super thanks up to $20. This energy exchange strengthens the connection between your family and the angelic realm, allowing Archangel Michael to provide continued protection and guidance during your son's healing process. Trust that this revelation, though concerning, arrived at exactly the right moment to save your son and restore your family's spiritual harmony.